Hello, everyone. This is Frankie from Serenelli and Associates. I want to thank you all for watching the video that I had posted on the economic stimulus package a day or so ago. I got an overwhelming amount of support for it. I had a lot of questions, a lot of answers. We tried to give you the best information that we had at the time. So thank you very much if you had watched it. If you haven't seen it, you can see it on our website. It is www.serenellicpa.com. Okay, and it gives you a little bit of insight into the economic stimulus checks as well as some of the loan provisions that are in there from the SBA, which is why I am here talking to you again today. I want to go into more of the details of this SBA loan side of it, which is also known as the Paycheck Protection Program under the CARES Act bill that was signed into effect on Friday. We have a lot more information on it now, so we are trying to get you out the best information that we can, because we are urging everybody to apply for these loans as soon as possible, because they are on a first come first serve basis, and the government has applied $349 billion to this program, and it is going to go very, very fast. So we're trying to get everybody to apply for these loans that qualifies for them. So I'm here giving you some more information on how to do that and what's included in them. So I want to talk to you about, again, the Paycheck Protection Program. That is what they're calling this underneath the CARES Act. That is this specific portion of it. And it is referring to these SBA loans that are going to be converted into grants. So what that means is that it's going to be a forgivable loan, that you are not going to have to pay this back if you meet the criteria and the guidelines. So here's some of the guidelines for this. It is a covered period from February 15th, 2020 to June 30th, 2020. Okay, and what that covered period means is that if your business was impacted due to the COVID-19 virus between February 15th, 2020 and June 30th, 2020, okay, that's the covered period of this. You may qualify for one of these loans, okay? So you have to have been in business by February 15th, okay? And that's the guideline and criteria period of when you can apply for this loan if you were impacted for that. And impact has to be if you were shut down due to government mandate, if you had loss of revenue, if you had laid people off, okay? So anything that would have impacted your business and you're struggling to make your payroll, this is what this loan is for. Specifically, what this program is for is it's to help our workforce in this time of economic crisis to keep people employed. So it is to help small business owners make sure that we keep all of our workforce employed. So to get into some of the specifics of this, the criterion guidelines for this loan is your business has to be 500 employees or less in order to qualify for this loan, okay? And the SBA has done a very, very good job of circumventing a lot of the different criteria that they had for you to apply for this loan, a lot of different forms that they had that you had to apply for this loan. They're trying to expedite the process, so they have waived the requirement for the business to show that they can't get credit or a loan anywhere else. So you don't have to go to another banking agency, you don't have to go to another credit lender. You can go directly to the SBA. And they are no collateral requirement, which they used to have. You used to have to have a collateral requirement to apply for the loan. They have waived that also. The SBA has reported that they are trying to get these loans up and out to people within the next 2 weeks. Okay, it's a very fast turnaround period. I'm hoping that that's what it actually is going to be, is within that next 2 weeks. So here's how it works. Here's the loan amount that you can apply for, because that's the most important part of this, is what do I apply for? I think I qualify for it. What am I allowed to apply for? Okay, so the maximum amount of the loan that you can apply for is the lesser of $10 million or 2.5 times your average monthly payroll costs. Okay, so what's included inside of that monthly payroll cost? How do you figure that out? It's based upon your 2019 annual payroll. Okay, this is the caveat. For employees that make $100,000 or less. So if they make over $100,000, they are not includable in this calculation for this SBA loan. Okay, so you have to take them out in order to do this calculation. So you look at your payroll records, you take them out. Anybody that was $100,000 or less that was on your payroll, you take the entire year of 2019, which is their annual salary. Okay, you divide that by 12. That will give you 1 month of payroll cost. You then multiply that by 2.5 times. Okay, and that is going to give you the payroll cost amount. Also included with that, which you can add into it, is any expenses paid for sick leave or healthcare benefits. You can add back into that payroll total. Okay, that's going to give you your total amount that you can apply for the loan. That's the maximum you can apply for. So the 2.5 months is actually 10 weeks or 10.5 weeks, where the forgivable portion of this loan, okay, the forgivable portion of this is what is going to be later converted into a grant, which means that this is the portion you do not have to pay back. Okay, so out of that 2.5 times your monthly payroll, you're going to get a credit for 8 weeks of payroll that you have actually paid out. So what that means is, from the time that you have your loan approved, you have an 8-week period where you have to keep track of what you actually paid your employees. Okay, and that they are going to require some kind of documentation, some kind of forms, maybe payroll reports. We are not sure yet. We haven't gotten that guidance from the SBA yet as of now, but it is coming. So they are going to be asking for proof of payments for these things. So you can exclude 8 weeks of payroll, okay, rent, mortgage interest payments, or and utilities are all included inside of that calculation that you do not have to pay back. So why are they adding rent, utilities, and mortgage interest to this? Well, because they're giving you a loan amount of 10.5 weeks or 10 weeks of payroll, of your average monthly payroll. Okay, so let's say, for example, the 8 weeks of payroll that you paid, let's say you had somebody laid off, which is another good caveat in this whole scenario, because if you had somebody laid off prior and you bring them back by June 30th, if you bring them back by June 30th, you do not have to reduce this calculation. As long as you are paying them their full salary, you can include that 8 weeks of salary that they normally would have received into this calculation, and you do not have to pay that portion of it back. But for 8 weeks of salary, if your 8 weeks comes up to $100,000, let's say, for instance, and the 10.5 weeks that you got on the loan was $125,000, okay, you're going to have to pay the excess portion back. But if you do pay rent, utilities, or mortgage interest on top of that, you can add that in, and that will also be excluded for the payback on the loan. So you will not have to pay that portion of the loan back. Okay, so it's just a way to help businesses keep their lights on, as well as pay their employees while we're in this time of economic crisis. Okay. It's important to know, though, for you to get this dollar for dollar loan forgiveness, you do have to keep your employees on through June 30th. Okay, so if they were prior laid off, you can bring them back, no penalty. You have to keep them employed till June 30th. If in the event that you have to lay off employees because you're still slow at work, you still can't afford to pay them, you still don't have the money coming in, you're still shut down due to government mandate, and you do have to lay employees off, you have to reduce that amount of the forgiveness by the percentage of employees that you have laid off. So if you have laid off 50% of your workforce, you have to reduce that forgiveness portion by 50%. If you laid off 25%, you have to reduce it by 25%. And the rest of it will be converted to this SBA loan, or it will stay in an SBA loan. And what that means is that you'll have now a SBA loan from the SBA loan agencies, where you will have to pay that back over whatever the time period of the loan may be, and that they will give you, and you set these loans up. They're also going to give you your interest rate, which is what you'll have to pay the interest rate on. It's capped at 4%. Okay, so it is on an individual, it is based on whatever the lending agency is willing to give you, but it is capped at 4%. Okay, so it won't go over the 4% mark. Okay, the biggest outpouring of questions I'm getting is how do I apply for this loan? Okay, great question. Here's what we have for the answer right now. As of last night, the SBA has changed their website, and they do have the application online. It is also a link to it from our website. It is www.serenellicpa.com. And if you look underneath the videos that we have posted there, you'll see the link to the SBA loan website. That is bringing you directly to where the application is for this. You're going to have to answer all the questions that they have on the application if you have fewer than 500 employees. It is asking you some questions based on your tax return that you had filed for the business or for your Schedule C. So you do need some information off of there as your gross profit and your cost of goods sold. Okay, so you are going to need a few pieces of information. And the way I understand it is, at the end of this loan process, you are going to be asked if you were approved, they're going to ask you if you would like a $10,000 advance on the loan itself, which they are saying that they are depositing to your bank account if you give them your routing number and account number within 3 days. Do not quote me on that. That's coming from the SBA. They're saying that you can get that money within 3 days, and then the rest of it, when the application is approved, they will go through the loan process with you, and you will get the remaining amount of the loan itself. Okay. Again, this is the best information that we have up to date right now. We are still going through this. We are still trying to get you all the answers that we can. And we do understand that this is going to affect different businesses, different individuals, and different companies in many different ways. And you're going to have a lot of different questions. So please give us a call. Send us an email. We'll be happy to try and set an appointment up with you, whether it be a phone conference due to the social distancing, or if it's through email or video chat. We're trying our best we can to keep open communication with all of our clients. So please don't hesitate. Give us a call. Send us an email. We'll get you set up, and we will try to help you as best as we can with the information that we have right now. We are getting more and more information on a daily basis, and we're trying to get that out to you on our website. It is www.serenellicpa.com. And everybody, please stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.